It's alive! It's alive!
Hey guys, Ash coming at you today in Raid Champion Guides. Welcome to the video, guys. Today we're going to go ahead and switch accounts and switch rarities. The last two champion guides that we did here on the channel were Armiger and Shield Guard. I'm not going to do every uncommon champion first. I'm going to switch things up in terms of rarity here on the channel. And I'm actually going to cover one of my favorite epic champions. And you also may have noticed on this channel, we want to have a nice mix of kind of mid-game, end-game, even some early-game content. So I'll be switching accounts on these champion guides depending on who I have on my free-to-play account. So this video, we are on the free-to-play account, and we're going to highlight one of my favorite carry debuffers in the game in Dhukk The Pierced. This dude is insane. I'm so thrilled to actually do a guide on him today. I've never done a guide on him on my main YouTube channel either, so exciting stuff, right? So why is he so good? First of all, he has a legendary-esque kit, especially his A2, which we'll get to in just a moment. I'm going to share the masteries. I'm going to share, maybe a quick arena battle or two, which is, I use this guy everywhere, truthfully. He's defense-based. He's a barbarian, an orc, sorry, Dhukk The Pierced. He's an orc champion, magic affinity, which does come into play with the A2. We'll talk about that in a moment as well. He's an epic champion. Defense-based, meaning that increased defense will get more damage from this champion as well. And I guess now is a great time to go ahead and visit hellhades.com, take a quick look at the stats. They give this champion a 4.5 overall. They call him the Ice Golem God. And look at these ranks, man. They give him a 4.5, in Spider, a 4 in Fire Knight, a 4.5 in Dragon, an Ice Golem 5. I mean, you guys can see Doom Tower, he can be used absolutely everywhere. His damage is legendary. His decreased defense attack is godlike. Crowd control, great. Protection and support, great. Even can be used in all the Doom Tower bosses for the most part here. Book value, 10 out of 10. This is a champion that you're definitely going to want to use your skill tomes on. And you can see his multiplier is 1.9, which is a strong attack on his A1, and a 3.5 on his AoE attack. So very, very good champion in terms of both his damage and his control and his debuffs. He brings a lot to the table, and he's tough to kill. So as we mentioned, an increased defense will get more damage out of any defense-based champion and keep them alive longer. So we have decreased accuracy, big version on his A1. Each independent hit is going to have a 40% chance, which is actually fairly reliable on that decreased accuracy, which is really nice to have. Decreased accuracy is not a debuff you find a ton, especially on an A1 ability in this game. On the A2, Lunatic Outburst. I love the name of this ability, first of all, the Lunatic Outburst. Okay, man. 3-turn cooldown. Again, this is why you want to book it. You really want to get this from a 4 to a 3-turn cooldown. And just as importantly, we want to have those buff-debuff chance, or the debuff chance in this occasion, up to 100%, right? So 100% chance of placing a decreased attack for 2 turns. Also has a 100% chance of placing a decreased defense for 2 turns on each critical hit, okay? So this is the same as Stag Knight, except for Stag Knight's is 95% chance. You need to pick up the Sniper Mastery. We don't need the Sniper Mastery here necessarily, not on the A2 at least. It will work on the A1. We'll talk more about that in a moment. But we need to land a critical hit. So the only downside to this ability, this really legendary-esque ability here, guys, is that we need to get a critical hit. So we need 100% crit rate on this champion as a top priority, unless you have like a crit rate aura or something like that you're using along with him on the team. And then in addition to that, we have to be cognizant that we may not be landing the decreased defense. Decreased attack we can land. It's just placing not predicated on a critical hit. But the decreased defense against force affinity mobs, we do have to keep a lookout for that, right? We could get those weak hits. Ergo, we won't be landing a critical hit. Ergo, we will not be landing the decreased defense. Anyway, on his A3 ability, a nice kind of extra control added to his kit. Shrieking Display has plays a provoked debuff for 1 turn on 1 enemy. Also has a 75% chance of placing a provoked debuff for 1 turn on 2 random enemies. So you select the first enemy, and then you have a shot, 75, not bad, at putting that provoke on 2 others. We also have the reflect damage on this champion for 2 turns, and unkillable on this champion for 1 turn, which is really nice because he's going to be taking extra damage from the enemies under his provoke, right? He has an aura, 31%. 25 where? I'm so used to 25 being the default, I feel like, on epics. Increased allied defense and faction crits by 31%. It makes him one of the best faction war carries for the Orcs faction in the game. Definitely worth investing in, not just for faction wars, though. This guy can be used everywhere. If you have your hands on him, Congratulations. Now keep in mind, we need accuracy and crit rate are going to be our number 1 and 2 and maybe defense percentage, 3 stat priorities on this champion. We also want to build him fast enough to go before our nukers because he's going to like kind of set the table with all of his debuffs, right? So on the masteries here, you guys can see, I'm going to push over really quickly. This is a very, very basic mastery build for this champion. We're going to go down the support side. We're going to go down the offense side. We're going to end with our tier 6 mastery being War Master just to get extra damage out of this champion. He does have that AoE attack, and of course he has an A1 that does pretty decent damage, plus the War Master be able to add up to be a nice support damage dealer on your team. Now, on the support tree, we have accuracy, more accuracy, more accuracy. We pick up Lore of Steel if you have basic artifact sets like I do on your Dhukk The Pierced. And then we're going to end with Master Hexer. This is probably the most important mastery to pick up for Dhukk The Pierced because this is going to extend his decrease, or have a chance to extend his decreased defense, his decreased accuracy, and his decreased attack as well. Keep in mind that will not work with Provoke, but still it's really, really nice to have all of that extended an additional turn to keep up with his 3-turn cooldown. Sniper is going to benefit, as we mentioned, his A1 ability and get an extra 5% chance on both of those hits at landing that decreased accuracy. It might not sound like a lot, but it does help, especially because it's 2 hits, bumping that up to a 35 or 45% chance on both hits. So, when booked. So, in terms of the artifacts I have on this champion, again, this is very free-to-play friendly here, right? I don't even have enough silver right now. I was going to upgrade these artifacts for the video, and I'm like, wait a second. I'd use all my... I only have 238. Can I do it? Of course I can't do it. I can't even get 1 level, dude. Oh my God. I can't even get 1 level. Come on, man. All right. Anyway, you can see here, I am 2 points shy of the 100%, which actually does matter, right? Do as I say, not as I do. I'm working with what I've got here, and we're all in the situation of Raid Shadow Legends, but I got 98% on the crit rate. We spoke about really trying to get to 100. I also need to make him fast enough to go before my nuker, who is Rhonda in the arena, so he is fast enough at 197. And then just shy of 3k defense, not bad for the early to mid game, but we'd like to have that scale up as we approach the end game. His accuracy at 203, for the dungeons that I'm going after, I'm basically farming stage 20 dungeons on this account. In stage 20 dungeons, it's really, that's going to be perfect. 200 accuracy is what we're looking for. So that's actually good there, and it gets the job done in the arena as well. In terms of artifacts on him, I have defense with some HP as well on the ring. Totally not fully upgraded there either. We have crit damage on the amulet that could easily be subbed in for some defense, excuse me. We're looking for accuracy. I just don't have any good amulets on this account. I need to farm Spider more for the Orc faction. So again, crit damage works, defense works, even HP works. Don't neglect HP totally on defense-based champions. They still need some HP, especially for skills that ignore enemy defense, right? And then we have accuracy on the banner. I think most of you are going to want to go accuracy. If you can go with, 3 accuracy sets or 3 perception sets or a really good accuracy or a lead, you might be able to sneak in a defense on the banner. We did go with crit rate on the gauntlets. Again, crit rate's very important. If I can upgrade this to a 5-star, then I will be totally golden for that 100% crit rate. We have defense percentage on the chest. We have speed on the boots. And then again, we already talked about the stat priorities here. Accuracy, speed, defense, right? Crit rate. So there he is, guys. Let's go ahead, and I'm just going to show you really, really quick. I use him on basically every single team because he's my main debuffer on my account. So I don't care where we're going here. We're going to be using Dhukk The Pierced, right? So these are the type of teams that I'm utilizing here in Dragon's Lair. And the same thing every dungeon. I'll give you a very quick arena showcase here as well. Let's just go against this squad here. This is the team I've been using. I have Skull Crown in the lead. I have a speed booster in Seeker, level 50. I have Rhonda. She's not booked out. She's not ascended. But then I have Dhukk The Pierced, and he's going after Seeker on this team to make sure that we're setting that table beautifully for our nukers. I kind of want to follow the same rule even in PvE contests, right? Even in dungeons, because we want him to be going in there because he can deal some damage. He sets up everything beautifully for the team, and that's a victory. So there you go, guys. That is going to be an under 10-minute guide on Dhukk The Pierced, one of my favorite debuffers inside the entire game. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Feel free to subscribe to the channel for daily champion guides. My goal here is to make a champion guide on every champion in Raid Shadow Legends. Let's see if I can do it. Might take me 10 years, but that's my goal. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.